In one of my recent videos, we spoke about eating healthy. We also mentioned the fact that we could eat and die little because there are food choices that will make us live long while we are healthy. And on the contrary, that there are food choices that we will make that are very dangerous to our health and eventually they cut short our life. In today's video, we are going to be discussing 5 food choices or 5 food substances that we would eat that are dangerous to our health and at the long run may cause diseases that will tend to shorten our life. We are going to realize that most or all of these diseases centers around chronic non-communicable diseases like cancers, obesity, hypertension, heart diseases, and the likes. Hello, you are welcome to my consulting room. My name is Dr. Victor Fayomi. Let us talk about 5 food substances that we would need to avoid, eradicate, or reduce drastically if we must live healthy and live long to a ripe old age. Number 1, red meat. We all enjoy meat. Red meat is a very good source of protein, and we all know that protein is essential for growth, for building of muscles, for healing, and for repair. However, the downsides of eating too much of red meat, especially of beef, is that we take into us a good chunk, a good amount of cholesterol, of fats, especially saturated fats, and again of sodium. All these are not good for our health when they are in excess. This has the role that they play in our body. But when we consume too much of this in excess, they are detrimental to our health. Cholesterol, for example, would eventually increase our risk of having our arteries clogged so that it narrows the lumen, that's the internal lining of the arteries, leading to such conditions like coronary artery disease. Plenty of red meat in our daily diet would also increase our risk of other conditions like hypertension, type 2 diabetics, and cancers, especially cancers of the stomach and the large intestine. So essentially, it is more beneficial for us to seek animal protein from other sources like goats, chicken, turkey, and fish. They would help us to live healthier lives. Another group of deadly food substances that when we take in excess can shorten our lifespan is animal fats. Fats that are gotten from animal sources. Examples include lard, bacon, butter, and even margarine. Now let us understand that margarine usually has its fat from plant sources, but we should watch out when we want to buy margarine because there are those that contains high content of animal fats. When we take animal fat in excess, what it gives us is plenty of cholesterol, that's the total cholesterol now, and what we call the low density lipoprotein, which is more commonly known as the bad cholesterol. What these would do is to increase our risk of coming down with heart diseases. And as we know, heart diseases are a very common cause of deaths worldwide. So if we have to live healthy and live long, we must, as much as possible, try to eliminate animal fats from our meal and start to substitute it with more healthy fats from plant sources. Again, if we must live healthy and live long, we must eliminate the consumption of processed meats from our diets. Processed meats are usually modified with flavors to improve taste and also with preservatives, chemical preservatives, to increase their shelf life. Processed meats include hot dogs, sausages, and canned meats. They are very high in their content of salts, sodium nitrates, sodium nitrite, texturants, colorings, flavors, refined sugar, and high fructose corn syrup. Processed meats are notorious, very, very notorious for increasing our risk of coming down with stomach and colorectal cancers. So if we must live healthy, if we must reduce drastically our risk of coming down with this group of cancers, We must completely eliminate processed meats from our foods and replace them with healthier meats that have been mentioned before, like fish, chicken, goat, turkey, and the rest. In one of my recent videos, I spoke about the dangers of eating too much of sugar. So number 4 on the list of deadly foods that we should eliminate completely or reduce drastically is sugary beverages and soda. Their dangers cannot be overemphasized. Again, they would increase our risk of insulin resistance, type 2 diabetics, obesity, cancers, hypertension, heart diseases, and usually addiction is a problem with consumption of sugary beverages and soda. If we must live long, if we must beat cancers, if we must beat hypertension, diabetics, and other chronic non-communicable illnesses, we must completely eliminate or drastically reduce the consumption of sugary beverages and soda from our daily diets. Number 5, processed carbohydrates. Processed carbohydrates are depleted of almost all their contents of fiber, mineral elements, and vitamins that are essential for the proper functioning of our body, that are essential for our well-being, that are essential for us to stay out of diseases and live healthy, long lives. They are considered as empty calorie meals. So when we eat them, they are quickly digested and hence they have a very high glycemic index, which eventually leads to rapid rise in our blood glucose. The result of this usually is an increase in our risk of coming down with obesity, diabetes, hypertension, heart diseases, cancers, stroke, chronic low back waist, and osteoarthritis. So again, along the line of these diseases, because processed carbohydrates will pose a risk to us coming down with them, we must reduce them drastically from our meal and replace them with more complex carbohydrates like brown unrefined rice, barley, wheat, and corn. So this is the summary of it. If we want to live healthy, long lives, we must inculcate eating healthy diets and eliminate our consumption of very poor food choices. Remember, the journey of life can be very smooth if we are healthy. Health is wealth, but wealth does not necessarily translate to health. So if we must live healthy lives, we must make healthy food choices. If you enjoyed my video and you've not subscribed to my channel, I don't want you to miss out on other interesting and educative videos that has to do with fitness, healthcare, and lifestyle. So that I would employ you to click on the subscribe and notification button so that you can get notified every time I upload new videos. Until my next video, I am your doctor and friend, your fellow passenger on the path of living healthy and living long. Stay alive, stay well, and stay healthy. Cheers to a long life.